So we learned about different shading techniques and ways that you can apply these shading techniques to create a three-dimensional form. So we have hatching, which is simply lines. The closer the lines are, the darker that the shading will look. Your lines do not have to be vertical. They can also be horizontal. They could be diagonal. We also reviewed cross-hatching, which is similar to a tic-tac-toe board where you crisscross your lines. We also learned circulism, which is you are creating circles with your pencil. So as I'm creating those circles, notice that my pencil is going around in circles. The harder I press, the darker the value, the lighter or more spread out, the softer the value. So now, how do I take these shading techniques and apply them to creating a form? Well, I'm going to start with my two-dimensional circle. Again, it does not have to be perfect. And I'm going to use the circulism. So I'm going to start in the corner, darker, and as I progress up to the top of the circle, I'm going to press lighter with my pencil to create a softer value. And again, notice that as I curve up the circle, I'm getting lighter. I can also take my finger and I can blend in those values. Now I want to keep a lighter area to show that highlight where the light source is coming from. So I'm going to barely touch my paper. I'm going to give it the softest value. So see how now I'm starting to get that idea of a sphere. Now I also want to be mindful of that cast shadow. When I add that cast shadow, that really gives me the idea of a three-dimensional object. Now my cast shadow is going to be my darkest value because it's a shadow. And again, I'm going in that circular motion. I'm going to even add a darker value here to show it's really casting onto the table. Now this is just one form. I want to practice creating 3 different forms. So maybe now I'll try a pyramid. So I'm going to start with a triangle. And I'm going to add. Now I'm going to use hatching and cross hatching. So I can hatch. And again, the closer that my lines are together, the darker that value is going to be. And then I'm going to use a cross hatch for my cast shadow. And my cast shadow is going to be the reflection. So now I have my pyramid, and I'm going to do barely touch. Do some light hatching on that front. So I have 1, 2. I need one more to show my understanding of creating form. Now, I could create another sphere and use a different technique. So maybe I will do a sphere using the contour. Now, the contour was drawing lines to match the curve or the shape. So I can draw those curved lines, and as I draw them closer and closer together, I start to see that form. And again, the closer your lines are together, the darker your form is going to be. So I have the idea of contour, following the direction of my object. And then I can add that cast shadow on the floor. So I have 1, 2, 3. I hope this video was helpful. Remember your techniques: hatching, cross-hatching, circulism, and contour.